Hi, I'm Amanda, and you're watching Lowe's How To Anything. Today we're going to be cutting and installing crown molding, which is a great way to elevate the aesthetic of a space. And guess what? We've got some helpful tips to make the job easier so that you can do it yourself. Let's get started. All right, we're here in the room, and we're gonna start in this space back here because it's a perfect example of two different kinds of cuts you're gonna need to make when doing your crown molding. So as you can see, we have an outside corner and an inside corner, and you're gonna need to make the cuts to reflect that with the molding. We're gonna need to cut our molding at a 45-degree angle pointing outwards so that they meet at an outward angle. And one more important thing to remember when you're measuring for your crown molding, always measure from the bottom of the crown molding because that's the part that's going to be touching the corner. The same goes for inside cuts. And for the inside corner, you're gonna wanna cut at a 45-degree angle going in so that the two pieces meet. Knowing what type of cut you need to make is very important when measuring your walls. So wall corners aren't always a perfect 90 degrees. Sometimes they can be off a little bit due to movement in the foundation. So we're gonna use an angle finder to get the exact angle we need. So this one's actually 92 degrees, so we're gonna remember that for later. Today I'm going to be using a compound miter saw, which is the best tool to use when cutting crown molding. Now speaking of crown molding, this is the type we're going to be using today. And you can always tell the top from the bottom of crown molding because the bottom is going to have a ridge on it and the top is going to have a smoother surface. Now, when cutting crown molding though, you want to always make sure you cut it upside down. So I'm going to flip it this way and slide it against the saw, against this fence piece right here so that it sits flush. Notice how I have it angled at 45 degrees? That's how it's going to be cut, and that's also how we're going to be installing it. Since we're cutting our crown molding upside down, a great way to think of it is that the fence of your saw is like the wall of your room, and the base of the saw is like the ceiling of your room. So the bottom goes on the wall, the top goes on the ceiling. To make sure that each piece is cut at the same spot and angle, we're going to make a guide with some tape. Slide your board back, and we're gonna put the tape just a couple inches away from the fence on each stationary side of the saw. All right, now we set our piece back up, line it up where you want it, and then just take a pen or pencil and draw a line right where it sits. That way, each piece, when you put it back up, it's gonna be at the exact same spot and angle. So the first part of the room that we're cutting for is an outside corner, and it measures at 31.5 inches on that first wall. So that's what I'm gonna measure out on the board. And remember, make sure that you're measuring at the bottom part of the board because that's what's going to be touching the corner of the wall. First thing we're gonna do is slide the board over so that the mark that we made is right where the blade is gonna hit. When cutting crown molding for either your inside or outside corners, you're always going to be cutting at an angle. So a great rule of thumb to help you recognize which way you should cut is that with outside corners, the bottom of your crown molding will be shorter than the top. And then when cutting for inside corners, the bottom of your crown molding will be longer than the top. So even when cutting upside down, this rule still applies. Now, as we learned with outside cuts, the bottom of the board is actually going to be shorter than the top. And if you remember, we measured that corner at 92 degrees, so we want to split that in half, which is 46 degrees, and that's where our saw is going to go. Next, we're going to line it up and make sure you check twice and only cut once. All right, we've made our first outside corner cut. Now we just want to make one more to match it up. And a great way to double check yourself if you're not sure if you've made an inside cut or an outside cut. An outside cut doesn't have any exposed wood, but in this sample piece of an inside cut, you can see there is exposed wood. So that's a great way to remember. All right, I've got a new board for my next outside cut, and I'm actually going to slide it down to the other end. And I'll be turning the saw in the opposite direction, but also at 46 degrees. I'm just gonna line it up with my guidelines, double check my mark. I'm ready to make my cut. We have our cuts done for our outside corner, and now I'm gonna take the board that I just cut and flip it around and do an inside cut because that's going to be sitting on an inside corner. I'm gonna line it up with our guidelines and slide it into place. We'll double check the line. We've done our inside cuts and our outside cuts, but there's actually a third type of cut you can use for crown molding. It's called an overlapping cut. An overlapping cut is used when you have a wall that's longer than your boards, so you can join together 2 or more boards with that overlapping cut. So we're going to line up our crown molding upside down as always, and when we make our cuts and bring the 2 boards together, it'll look seamless. Now we're going to install the molding onto the walls and secure it with a nail gun. The crown molding is up and this room looks so much better. If you want to install crown molding in your home, you can find everything you need at Lowe's or Lowes.com. And if you need any help while shopping, just find a Lowe's Red Vest associate and they'll be more than happy to assist you. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below. Let us know what you want to see on the next How To Anything video.